Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this FDP on blockchain technologies. So before we go ahead with the proceedings, we'll start the program with the JNTUA invocation song.
పుంజమా
జయ జయ హే జయ జయ హే విజ్ఞాన కాంతి పుంజమా
జవహరులాల్ నెహ్రూ స్మారక వరతేజమా సాంకేతిక శాస్త్ర విశ్వవిద్యాలయ రాజమా భవ్య సీమలో వెలసిన అక్షర కల్పభూజమా జయ జయ హే జయ జయ హే జయ అనంత జయంతియు
జయ జయ హే జయ జయ హే జయ అనంత జయంతియు
స్వాతంత్ర్యానికి పూర్వమే మేజర్ మ్యార్లీ స్థాపించిన కళాశాల దినదినము వర్ధిల్లి అఖిలాంధ్రదేశమందే ఆది అయి విలసిల్లి అభ్యుదయ వికాస శ్రీ విశ్వమెల్ల విస్తరిల్లి మేధావులనందించే మేలిమి విద్యల తల్లి జయ జయ హే జయ జయ హే జయ అనంత జయంతియు
జయ జయ హే జయ జయ హే జయ అనంత జయంతియు
శేషాచల గిరుల సిరుల చెలువారు చిత్తూరు ఆంధ్రుల తొలి రాజధాని నగరమైన కర్నూలు శేషాచల గిరుల సిరుల చెలువారు చిత్తూరు ఆంధ్రుల తొలి రాజధాని నగరమైన కర్నూలు విలువైన ఖనిజాల నెలవైన కడప గడప రోదసి కేంద్రం శ్రీహరికోట గల నెల్లూరు రోదసి కేంద్రం శ్రీహరికోట గల నెల్లూరు లేపాక్షికళ కనంత జిల్లాల పెన్నిధి జయ జయ హే జయ జయ హే జయ అనంత జయంతియు
జయ జయ హే జయ జయ హే జయ అనంత జయంతియు
నవోన్మేషమౌ బోధన యువత భవిత కాలంబన అధునాతన పరిశోధనల ఆవిష్కరణల కల్పన నిస్తుల క్రీడల సాధన, నీతి సూత్రముల ప్రేరణ, నిర్మల సేవాచరణ, నిరుపమానమై జగాన విజేతలను సృష్టించి విశిష్టతను చాటు జనని. జయ జయ హే, జయ జయ హే. దేశ ప్రగతి దివ్య శక్తి ప్రదాయిని, జవహరులాల్ నెహ్రూ సాంకేతిక శాస్త్ర విశ్వవిద్యాలయ వాణి. జయ జయ హే, జయ జయ హే. జయ అనంత జయంతియు, జయ అనంత జయంతియు. జయ జయ హే, జయ జయ హే. జయ అనంత జయంతియు.
A very good morning to all the participants. Chief guest of today's inaugural ceremony, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jayanti University, Anantapur, Professor S. Srinivas Kumar, respected Principal of Jayanti UA College of Engineering, Anantapuramu, Professor K. Govindrajulu Garu, Head of the CSE Department, Professor A. Suresh Babu, and all the participants, a very good morning to all of you. Myself, Professor Shobha Bindu, the coordinator of this Atal online FDP on blockchain, welcome you all to the inaugural function for the 1-week online FDP sponsored by AICTE Training and Learning Academy from 8th September 2020 to 12th September 2020. So this FDP aims to improve the quality and equity in engineering teachers to upgrade their knowledge, enhance their research and teaching skills. This FDP will help the participants to develop a basic understanding of the state-of-art research and the practical usage of blockchain technologies. Recently, you might have heard blockchain, also known as the distributed ledger technologies, has become one of the most significant disruptive technologies. So, it has an immense potential to change the economy, culture, and the society. So as a specific distributed database technology, blockchain technologies have a unique characteristic that they are inherently resistant to modifications of the data. That is, once the data is recorded, the data in a block cannot be altered subsequently. Its technical background is based on the hash chain and the public key cryptographic algorithms, which include the public key infrastructure. The usage of blockchain technologies have become familiar after the successful operation of its earlier cryptocurrency application, that is the Bitcoin. Nowadays, more and more innovative applications have begun using this blockchain technologies, which has resulted in the new digital financial applications and various decentralized applications that eliminate the need for the third party intermediaries. Hence, it is important to bring awareness among the researchers and academicians and train the manpower on blockchain to do the innovative research works and the projects and create a knowledge base. So towards this objective, AICTE has recognized this blockchain as one of the thirst areas. I thank AICTE Training and Learning Academy for sponsoring this workshop. We had an overwhelming response for this particular FDP, and as there is a restriction on the maximum number of faculty who can be admitted to this workshop, we have restricted to 200. So the FDP is planned as 14 sessions, and 13 sessions will be technical sessions, and one session is exclusively on human values and ethics, so as to promote the Fit India movement across the country. So all the resource persons are drawn from reputed institutions and the organizations like ISRO, IIT Bombay, NIT Warangal, NIT Patna, and TCS. and also from University of Hyderabad. I thank all our distinguished speakers for accepting our invitation to deliver the sessions online. I wish all of us will have the insightful and fruitful sessions ahead with the ideas that will lead to new implementable security proposals. So with these few words, I request Professor A. Suresh Babu, Head of CSE Department, to speak on this occasion.
Chief guest of today's function, Professor S. Srinivas Kumar Garu, Vice Chancellor of JNTU Anantapur, Professor K. Govindrajulu sir, Principal of this college, Professor C. Shobha Bindu, Coordinator of this program, Director of JNTU, participants, resource persons, a very good morning to one and all, and I welcome you all to the 1 week FDP on blockchain technology. Coming to this workshop, as our coordinator mentioned that this is the one of the thrust area. The field of blockchain in the IT sector is growing very fast. It is estimated that blockchain technology has been adopted by more than 1/3 of the companies in the world, and demand for blockchain developers are ever increasing. Blockchain technology provides one of the most secure and safe online transaction, which has taken all the industries. Due to its numerous benefits to the industry, many companies and professionals have started to adopt blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is a technology that uses decentralized ledger transactions, the transaction records. The record of transaction is kept in a P2P network. There is no central authority needs to confirm the transactions. The transactions are verified by the participants in P2P networks. There is no need for any central authority for any kind of trade settlement, voting, or money transactions. So the most popular applications of this blockchain technology are uses and importance of blockchain technology are security. Security is the primary concern for all kinds of online activities. Lots of data are stolen and information is breached in this world of digital. Blockchain provides very high level of security, which makes it impossible to breach for anyone because of the decentralized nature of blockchain technology. So blockchain technology provides transparency. It is very transparent as everything. It is visible to all the participants from the beginning to till date. One can see each and everything in the network, which makes it very open technology. It reduces the chance for any kind of discrepancy in the system because of decentralized nature of blockchain. So another importance and use of blockchain technology, transparency. The blockchain technology is very transparent as everything, is visible to all the participants from beginning to till date. So the next one is blockchain. It provides, it is inexpensive. The blockchain technology is the most reasonable financial model available right now in the world. If one compares it with the traditional economic models, then it is very less expensive. Time of transaction is also very less. Fraud protection for business, it provides fraud protection for business also, due to the high transparency of transactions. Blockchain, the most, not only the applications, coming to the research topics in the blockchain technology are blockchain security, decentralization, blockchain scalability, blockchain cryptography, blockchain consensus, smart contracts, interoperability, governance, and privacy. These are the most research topics related to blockchain also. So as a head of the Department of Computer Science Engineering, it is my duty to brief about the department. Department of CSE started 30 years back with an intake of 15 BTech students. Now department offers UG, PG and PhD also. At present, there are 11 regular faculties. Among those 11 regular faculties, 6 are professors, 2 associate professors, 3 assistant professors, and remaining 20 assistant professors on ad hoc basis. Department has very good infrastructure for the classrooms and labs. In the department, we have 5 computer labs. Our faculty members and students have received many prestigious awards from state level and national level. We have expertise in the field of artificial intelligence, software engineering, computer networks, image processing, data mining, and data analytics. We have published more than 400 papers in various quality journals and conferences. Department of CSC organized various workshops and symposiums for the benefit of faculty, scholars, and students also. So with this brief introduction, I conclude my speech. Thank you. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Professor Suresh. Now I take the privilege of inviting the principal of JNTUA College of Engineering, Anantapuram, to address the gathering.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Srinivas Kumar Garu, Head of the Department, Professor Suresh Babu Garu, Director of the University and the Coordinator for this 5-day Faculty Development Program, Professor Shobha Bindu Madam, participants, resource persons, very good morning to all of you. And at the outset, I would like to appreciate the interest taken by the coordinator, Professor Shobha Bindu. In spite of being a director, he is organizing a series of faculty development programs. I hope this is the third one in the series recently organized. Really, I take this platform to appreciate her efforts. At the same time, I appreciate the efforts of the head of the department, Professor Suresh Babu Garu, and I appreciate the interest taken by all the participants to participate in this 5-day workshop. Really, I am very happy for getting this opportunity to speak to all of you as the principal of JNTUA College of Engineering, Anantapur. As the participants are not belonging to this college, let me introduce briefly about our college. Our college, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University College of Engineering, Anantapur, is established in 1946, much before the independence, as an extension center for Guindy Engineering College, Chennai. Later, in 1959, after the formation of state of Andhra Pradesh, it has been shifted to the present location of Anantapur and brought under Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati. In 1972, the government of Andhra Pradesh has started a technical university called Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad, and made this college as a constituent college of the university. Later, in 2008, after the trifurcation of this university, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anantapur has been established, and our college has been brought under JNTU Anantapur University as a constituent college. This college has been granted autonomy by the University Grants Commission, and National Board of Accreditation has granted accreditation twice to this college. I am happy to inform you all that National Institution of Ranking Framework, NIRF, has ranked this college as 185 in this year recently. Ministry of Human Resources and Development, New Delhi, has recognized this institution as Technical Education Quality Improvement Center and granted an amount of 7.5 crores of rupees to this institution. Under this program, the college has conducted several workshops, conferences, symposiums, webinars at the national and international level. Now, with the assistance of AICTE under ETAL program, we are organizing this 5-day workshop on this blockchain technologies. As already the coordinator and head of the department said, a blockchain is a growing list of records called as blocks that are linked using cryptography. Each block contains a cryptographic hash of previous block, a timestamp, and a transaction data. A blockchain is a decentralized, distributed, and often it is public digital ledger consisting of records called as blocks, and that is used to record the transactions across many computers, so that any involved block cannot be altered retroactively without the alteration of all the subsequent blocks. This allows the participants to verify and audit transactions independently and relatively inexpensive. The invention of the blockchain for Bitcoin made it the first digital currency to solve the double spending problem without the need of trusted authority or central server. The Bitcoin design has inspired other applications, and the blockchains that are readable by the public are widely used by cryptocurrencies. Blockchain is considered a type of payment rail. Private blockchains have been proposed for business use, but the computer world called the marketing of such blockchains without a proper security model as a snake oil. Though the blockchain was used for Bitcoin development and all, now other cryptocurrencies, the blockchain has now found users in several industrial applications, including finance, real estate, and other health, these things. And blockchain provides a way for untrusted parties to come to agreement on the state of the database without using a middleman. By providing a ledger that nobody alters, a blockchain could provide specific financial services like payments or securitization without using any middleman. Nowadays, many of the banks are also making use of this technology, and as Professor Suresh Babu already explained, several advantages it is having, but it is having few disadvantages also. The blockchain is a distributed ledger system, but not a distributed computing system. And scalability is there, but is limited. There is an issue in the scalability also. Some blockchain solutions consume too much of energy. Blockchains cannot go back. Data is immutable. This is a greater advantage, but a little bit a disadvantage also. The blockchains are sometimes inefficient because all the systems should record all the transactions. And sometimes, though it is secure, but we can say it is not 100% secure. There are some disadvantages. As the technology grows, definitely all the disadvantages will take the back seat. And I hope all the participants will take a serious interest in all these things and learn the blockchain technologies so that the purpose of conducting this faculty development program will be successful. I request once again all the participants to be serious, because being organized in the online mode, there is nobody to verify whether you are actively involved in this or not. But for your benefit, for the benefit of the institution, for the benefit of the knowledge of all the persons, I request once again all the participants to say, take interest and participate in this 5-day workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your blessings and the support towards this FDP. Now I take the honor of introducing the chief guest of today's function to the gathering. Professor S. Srinivas Kumar, the Vice Chancellor of JNTU, Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anantapur, is a person with a blend of skills in administration, academics, and research. As a faculty of ECE department, he played a vital role in establishing various laboratories from basics to advanced laboratories in electronics and communication engineering, organized several workshops, seminars, and webinars for the faculty in the electronics and communication engineering and hackathons for the students. He has delivered more than 85 invited lectures in UGC Academic Staff College, Hyderabad, Engineering Staff College of India, and many other reputed academic institutions. He always keeps himself updated technically by attending the workshops, webinars, and seminars, and he disseminates the same to the students. He served as a member of Board of Studies in several universities and examiner for many state and central government organizations. Dr. Kumar is active in research since 1994 onwards in the areas of signal and image processing. He has published more than 120 research papers in reputed national and international journals and conference proceedings. In addition, he co-authored 7 books. He successfully supervised 14 research scholars in the areas of image processing, antennas, and computer networks. He is a very active professional member He has got membership in ISTE, IETE as a life member, and he is a fellow of AP Academy of Sciences, Hyderabad, and a senior member of IEEE. Dr. Kumar is one of the professors who took an active role in administration to glorify Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Kakinada, and as a Vice Chancellor of JNTUA, he is bestowing his efforts to develop JNT University Anantapur in both academic aspects as well as the infrastructure-wise. Many of his noteworthy contributions as Vice Chancellor elevated the status of Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University Anantapur at both the state and national level. With this brief introduction, I humbly request our Chief Guest, Vice Chancellor of JNT University Anantapur, Professor S. Srinivas Kumar Garu, to enlighten the participants with his words.
Thank you, Dr. Shobha Bindu, for introducing. Our respected colleagues, Professor Govinda Raju Garu, and head of the Department of Computer Science Engineering, Professor Suresh, the coordinator of the function, the director of the university, Dr. Shobha Bindu, experts, the participants. Very good morning to one and all. Indeed, I am very happy to be with you today in the morning. And Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University Anantapur, I can say definitely it is having the potential. High potential is there. And there is no question to say that Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University is lagging behind in terms of the academics or in the administration. The only problem with this university is the proper leadership which was lacking earlier. I'm sure that the university will flourish even in future too, with the help of the senior faculty members available, as well as with the young professionals in this teaching era. And the computer science engineering department, indeed, within a limited space which they have, they are functioning very well. And there is no boundary for the knowledge. And thereby, the computer science engineering department, within the small premises which they have, the department is not having a good ambience also, but still they are doing a very good job. Heartfully, I congratulate the team for doing such a good job, conducting several webinars. In the COVID-19, the crisis has been well utilized by Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University Anantapur, and we have conducted the GATE online classes, GPAT classes, seminars, webinars, and conceptual work is actually going on, and online classes are conducted when we are planning for online evaluation. So thereby, the technology is well utilized in the COVID-19, and the technology not only at developers, we are making use of it effectively in this particular crisis. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to have a dialogue or to have a discussion or to interact with several vice chancellors all over the country, and also the governors of the various states, Honorable Prime Minister, and also the Rashtrapati, President of India, that is Kovind. And indeed, I was very happy yesterday the dialogue which we had, and the dialogues which were carried out yesterday with several educationists yesterday. I felt very happy that the national education policy, which has come into the, which has been accepted by the cabinet and which has been approved by the cabinet rather, now it has to be implemented. So in the implementation process, there are several challenges are there. So I request all the participants to read the particular national education policy thoroughly, and also let us plan for such kind of workshop. What are the implementation challenges in the national education policy? That is very important to be considered. The reason, one of the reasons why I am telling, yesterday night, I was going through the website of national education and national education policy and various aspects. And today, the entire world is moving around the multidisciplinary approach and interdisciplinary approach. There is no question of continuing to be in the intradisciplinary approach. That is not acceptable today. We have to think about the interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary. And I would like to just tell you what is interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary for the participants, those who are not familiar. Today, the robotic technology is developed because of the mechanical engineering and electronics and communication engineering. Bioinformatics is developed because of the biology and the computer science engineering. Thereby, multiple departments involving and developing a new discipline is considered to be interdisciplinary. Similarly, the multidisciplinary approach. Today, suppose if I want to clean the Ganga River, the Ganga River can be cleaned by environmental pollutionists. They will come and they will say, take care of. Civil engineering people will come, they will take care of the riverbeds, and the water treatment people will come, they take care of the water treatment. So each expert will come and they will try to see the Ganga River is clean. That is, a multiple people, they are not dependent on each other, but still they can work with a particular goal. That is what is called the multidisciplinary approach. So the blockchain technology or the artificial intelligence or Internet of Things, these are the subjects. They should not be considered as no more the subjects of computer science engineering alone. They are the subjects of every discipline. The artificial intelligence play very important role not only in the computer science engineering or in electronics and communication engineering. It finds its application in every discipline. In every discipline, the artificial intelligence is very much applicable. Even in the medical diagnosis, the artificial intelligence are applicable. In the law, the artificial intelligence is applicable. So thereby, the artificial intelligence is playing a key role in every discipline. So the artificial is one subject which is upcoming, and definitely all the participants may please understand that this subject is very important and you have to learn that particular subject. And similarly, the data analysis. Because of the Internet of Things, which is considered, the abundant data is available. This abundant data is to be classified, or this abundant data is to be clustered, or this abundant data is to be matched with another group. That is data matching, or data compression, or data analysis. This is possible only when we have an expertise in that particular subject, that is called as a data analysis. Business data analytics is one course which we are planning in Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University to start in this particular annum. And thereby, I say there's a data analytics is another important course. And Internet of Things. Today, even the farmers who are in the villages, they can have the information through Internet of Things. And the one course which is very important, we started MTech Internet of Things in collaboration with Electronics company at Vijayawada, and it is successfully going on. And 80% of the railway projects in the Internet of Things are with Electronics company. Thereby, Internet of Things is another important subject. Another important subject which we are planning discussing today is blockchain technology. The blockchain technology is also very, very important subject. And whatever the Dr. Principal, Dr. Govindaraju was discussing, or the head of the department, Dr. Suresh is discussing, and Dr. Shobha Bindu is discussing. I heard about this blockchain technology, and JNTU College of Engineering, Pulivenzula, has organized 2 programs in this blockchain technology. And today, JNTU Anantapur is also planning to organize 1 more program in the blockchain technology. That shows the importance of the blockchain technology in today's world. Today, when I am trying to transfer my amount to some other person, maybe to a principal or to another person, just through a Paytm or through Google Pay, I am able to pay the amount with 100% secure. With 100% secure. There is no need to worry. The amount will go or it will return back to my account. That is, with 100% security, I am able to transfer the amount from my account. That is the feather of this part of blockchain technology. So blockchain technology is very important in cryptocurrency. I am very happy Dr. Shobha Bindu is organizing in this particular workshop with the experts from various reputed organizations. I wish this particular workshop must be very successful. And repeatedly in many workshops, I used to say, and today also I'm telling that any workshop when we attend, we get what you call as an exposure, but not expertise. And expertise, you can get it only when you attend the program and also trying to practice what you learn. Suppose in just few minutes back, Dr. Shobha Bindu is discussing about the Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? She is discussing about the hashing function. What is hashing function? In the data structures, hashing function is a very important topic that is discussed. See, the subject hashing function, which is very well discussed in the data structures, has been applied today in the blockchain technology. So whatever you learn in the other subjects like data structures, we are making use in the blockchain technology. So they are interdependent. Whatever we learn in the other subjects, equally important in the blockchain technology. So the hashing function, which is a very important tool, and which is one information which is available in every block, and all these blocks, that is whatever the information pertaining to the previous block is stored in the hashing function in the present block. That is what Dr. Govindaraju was telling in his presentation. That is very important to know how this particular hashing function can be used in the blockchain technology. So whenever you find time within this workshop, suppose morning lectures are there, next day again you will be attending the lecture. So in the afternoon, you please go through the hashing function. What is hashing function? How well the hashing function can be used? Any innovative methods are there to improve the security of the blockchain technology? This is what we have to learn, and I'm sure this particular workshop will be wonderful and it will be useful, and you will get the expertise by your continuous contribution to the new technology. Yesterday, when I was attending to the Honorable Prime Minister's discussion, there is one gentleman, and I didn't know till yesterday. Please, anyone who doesn't have an idea, please note down. His name is Dr. Manjula Bhargava. Dr. Manjula Bhargava. He is an expert in number theory, and he has been awarded the Fields Award. Fields Award is considered to be much more higher than the Nobel Prize, and he has been awarded. And I was attending to his video yesterday, and how the Fibonacci series is related to the music. In the music, let us say we are playing a tabla, and how the notes are considered based on the Fibonacci series. This is wonderful concept, and he has interrelated the music and tabla, rather tabla and Fibonacci mathematics. He has connected. Even in the morning also I was hearing, I felt he's just hardly a 38 years young boy who has been awarded a Fields Award, which is much higher than the Nobel Prize. And such great people are there in this country, and we are the innovators, we are the inventors, and let us make use of our innovations, our inventions for our country first. And that is the reason yesterday it is the Honorable Prime Minister was discouraging going abroad. Let us have online classes. Let us invite the foreign universities to start their universities in our country, and Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India policy. And these two are definitely useful for the development of our country. And let us depend on ourselves, and let us make use of the others also for our development. But let us not make use of our service for the other country. Satya Nadella is from India. And if you see Sundar Pichai, is from India. Like that, there are many people who have gone abroad, and they are extending our services there, and they are becoming rich. That country is becoming rich, and we are becoming poor. And today, 70% of the population who is living in the rural India is contributing only 17% of the GDP. So whatever the technology that we are developing, the technology should be used to develop our country, and in particular the rural India, how the rural India can be developed. That is very important. So it is not definitely the learn and earn policy, the gross enrollment ratio, which we are planning to increase to 50% by 2030. That is possible only when we conduct this kind of virtual universities, rather online examinations, online evaluation, online teaching, online curriculum design, whatever may be. Let us do in a blended approach, because I am against completely for a online course, because the online course is nothing but isolated learning. So I consider a blended approach must be there, both online as well as offline. Isolated learning is not a good thing. So I feel let us have a together develop the country and develop our Andhra Pradesh state, and see that the Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anantapur, will be pioneering in every aspect, not only in knowledge acquisition, the skill development, and the universal human values, which we are introducing as one course. And we are having a universal human values is one subject which we introduced in the second year. In the second year, first semester for certain department, second year, second department, second year, second semester for certain departments. That is, I would like to say, without knowledge, without skills, how well we can work, because we cannot work without knowledge and without skills. But having these two, but if you do not have the human values and professional ethics, there is no point in contributing, and there is no point in living in this world. And I wish that all the participants should learn new subjects, and they should impart, disseminate this knowledge. They should live in an innovative world, and they should get an expertise in the subject. They should learn new subjects, and see, the teacher is forever, he is a learner. He should not stop learning after 60 years, after 50 years. We should continue to be a learner. And today, whatever you learn becomes a asset for you. And investment in education is a highly acceptable, and I invite the investment in the education, brother. That is what I would like to tell you openly, that when my father joined me paying 16,000 rupees in a private engineering college, all the relatives, they were reluctant. Why you are joining in a private engineering college, that is Siddhartha Engineering College, Vijayawada, paying 16,000 rupees towards the capitation fee? Everyone objected, but my father said, yes, I want my son to be an engineer. I want my son to be a good professional person. And that is the reason he paid openly. I am accepting. My father has paid 16,000 rupees at the time in the year 1980. And he has joined me in Siddhartha Engineering College, Vijayawada. Whatever the investment he has made on the day, today, the entire family is enjoying the fruits of it. That is the reason I am wishing all the participants, I am pleased to that invest in the education, invest in your qualification, invest in your knowledge, invest in your skills, and be with human values, and that will develop your family and as well as the nation. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir, for your informative and encouraging words. So we have with us Raghavendra Kune, who is the speaker for the first session. So we'll start the session straight away. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir, Srinivas Kumar Garu, Govindraj Garu, and Suresh.
Sir, I am not able to attend the lecture because today we have got an electronic service register meeting is there, and the Andhra Pradesh state government, a comprehensive financial management system group of people have come. I have to discuss with them about the affiliation process as well as electronic service registers. I request him to kindly excuse me. I wish the participants will definitely gain very good knowledge from you, and definitely I'm sure that you will extend all your contribution. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
I'm leaving.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request Sudhir to introduce Raghavendra, sir, to the gathering.